stories create that emotion, and emotion sticks. It is one of those stickiness things in your brain that makes a huge difference.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Look at Taylor. What are you drinking?
How pretty is my cup?
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. Okay, here's my question. I know we were going to talk about this, but I really want to know, like, why don't people mix their drinks? Like, is there something like visually appealing where the milk is at the
mixed.
top?
My ice, as it bobs, will mix my coffee up to the top and run it through my milk.
What? You don't take a spoon and mix it?
No. That's what the ice is for.
The ice does the work?
The ice does the work. Does the work.
So where did you learn this from? Starbucks?
Because they do the same thing. I worked at Starbucks for many, yeah.
Wait a minute, you worked at Starbucks?
Well, I had a Starbucks in my store for many years. Yeah, it was Barnes & Noble. Of course I did.
So you know all like the secrets, how to make a Frappuccino?
Yeah.
Caramel.
You don't want one.
Macchiato.
Yeah, you don't want one. Yeah.
It's a lot of sugar, I know.
There's a lot of sugar. Yeah, you don't want it.
My gosh, Jonathan, that's something I didn't know about you.
There you go. You knew I worked at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, but I know, but I didn't even think about you going to Starbucks. Like,
well, because we had one there.
No, I know,
we also served Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
Oh my gosh.
I was so fat. Yeah. Anyway,
well,
good times had by all. Hi, everyone.
Before we dive into today's, episode about stories and what stories you could be telling as a business owner, Jonathan is very secretive. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's something that he does every Friday evening. And what do you do every Friday evening? And I think it's so cute, but so secretive.
If I was so secretive, why would you people know about it? Like, I'm terrible at keeping secrets if I'm so secretive. No, every Friday, me and my family, we do family dinner every Friday. So we go to our Italian restaurant that we've always gone to, and we do family dinner. And I have the same thing every Friday, chicken parmesan. So, every Friday. Doesn't matter.
So do you have like the same table? I have questions. Do you have the same table?
We don't have the same table, no. We sit where they sit us. Usually they hide us in the corner when we're with my nephew because,
Right. He's a little one.
He's 3, yeah.
My goodness, so you don't have the same waiter. Like, I feel like this is how I picture it.
No, but we have the same restaurant. We know the owner. We know, yeah.
But I picture it like this is where the Howards sit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are like famous. Like, if you ever leave that little place, like they're gonna have a little plaque on the table for you.
They won't have a little plaque on the table. And what's sad is I went to school with the person, the son of the father. But the father is probably going to be selling the business soon, and we don't know if it's going to be there.
Oh,
and we don't know where we're going to go to dinner.
McDonald's?
On Fridays. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's the best. And I've not had a chicken parm that's anywhere near as good anywhere around the world. Nowhere is as good as this one.
Okay, well, to be continued because I have more questions about this restaurant. But Jonathan, I know you're excited about this episode because we did do a storytelling episode in season 1. And this one's going to be more like example based. And Jonathan, I mean, this is his wheelhouse. So before we get started, just in case it's someone's first time here at Coffee Social, do you want to go ahead and tell people who you are?
No.
You have to be real quick because I guess people don't like intros.
No, they don't. Hey, my name is Jonathan Howard. I'm the owner of Success on Social, and I help successful female coaches reach their ideal clients through developing their signature style and sharing their story on social media so that they can build their audience and make some money while they're doing it, and of course, change the world. Over to you, Mimi.
Hey everyone, I'm Mimi. I teach women in business how to host rooms, how to moderate on social audio, aka audio marketing. So if you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to. It's a great way to gain visibility, make sales, grow the email list, all from just hosting audio only spaces on social audio apps. So here we go. I kind of changed it up last minute, but I kind of like it.
There you go.
All right, Jonathan. So let's get started. I know that you teach, you have different angles of storytelling that you teach from, and I know you're going to share with us a few. So do you want to kick us off with what is a founder's story?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a ton of different types of stories, and I do have a resource for people of 7 of the different types of stories you can tell on social media that we'll link here so you can sign up for that. But a founder story is the first story that I always share with people to tell, and that's the story not only of you and your business, but the values behind your business, the reason you started your business, and what's going to connect with your audience. Now, when you're telling stories, all of these stories, you need to look at what's going to connect with your audience. So you don't just want to be a boring history of your business. You want to talk about the main points and the values that you serve and all those things so that people understand why you started your business and what's in it for them. Because that's one of the most important things is what's in it for them.
I love that, Jonathan. And one person that I recommend checking out on Instagram, I don't know if you follow her, but her name's Sarah Blakely. She's the founder of Spanx.
Yep.
I think she does a fantastic job storytelling, like her founder's story. And she does it where it's like, it pulls you like, oh my gosh, that's exactly where I am right now. So if Sarah Blakely can do it, I can do it. And like, you believe in her because you see where she was at the beginning.
Right. And that's key. She started out in the garage with the one Spanx thing, right?
Her whole house was filled with boxes of inventory. Yeah. And then she just, got on Oprah, and that just changed everything. And if it was that easy, no, but she did go through the whole story. And I'm sorry, Apple is the one that started in the garage. And like all of those are founder stories that are really powerful because it connects with the people who are watching and they understand they've been in that place too. So. Yeah, I love that. Real quick, I know, I want to go into the next one, which is breakthrough story, but just real quick, why do we care about stories? Do you want to just give us like a 1 minute why?
Why? Because humans are built on stories. Naturally, our brains understand stories, and that's how we connect. We are built on stories. Since cavemen, we drew stories on the cave walls. That's what we're used to. So when you tell a story, it automatically connects on that emotional level with people. It doesn't necessarily connect on that logic level, but that doesn't matter. That logic is for later on justifying the purchase. You want people to purchase something, you need to get them to feel something emotionally.
It was great. And when you were talking about cavemen, I don't know why Castaway came in my mind.
Was
Shout
he
out to
drawing
Tom
things?
Hanks.
Was he drawing things on the cave wall? I never saw it. I don't know.
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Volleyball head, yeah.
Wilson, first of all. Okay. Breakthrough story is the next type of story that we could be telling. What is breakthrough?
So a breakthrough story is a story of your customer. And these are really important because this is your customer before they saw you and your customer after they saw you. And I don't call it, so technically it's part of the hero's journey, but because it's social media, we don't have time to tell the whole hero journey story. So a breakthrough story is that moment like before, where were they right before they started working with you? And then, what was that stress like? What did that feel like? And then showing them going through the breakthrough because of your service or product. So what does that service or product offer? And then where are they after? And I often call these the sad to happy stories. Everybody sells happy. And most of your clients, before they come to you, they have a problem. So they're sad. So you go from sad to happy. And you want to take your clients and customers from that sad to happy as quickly as possible and make the difference between those two as dramatic as possible. So when you're really telling that story, you want to dig into, I was so stressed and overwhelmed before I found out how I could show up on social media in a way that would connect with my audience. But once I found Jonathan and his signature style content, I realized that I could just show up as myself. And that made it so much easier for me to actually get out there and show up on social media, be myself, and connect with my true audience. Since then, I've gotten this many clients for this much stuff. And it's just easier for me to create content and connect with people. That's a breakthrough story.
I need to ask a couple things. One, are you already picturing what the story is going to look like when you take on a client? Are you already like, okay, this is their before, and you note it down so you don't forget what they were like before? Like, are you already doing that? Or are you depending on them to like tell their story?
I note their before and I note their after, and I'm aware of it, but I will never tell their story for them. So I might say, hey, do you remember where you were when you first got to me? And look at where you are now. I note the differences, but I wouldn't tell their story because it's their story to tell. But
so what if they're
use that story?
Okay, so what if they don't want to be on video? Because I know a lot of what you do is video based. I mean, obviously there's other types of content that you can use stories in. So if somebody just doesn't want to be on video, which I'm sure you've gotten a no before, like how do you...
I often will have them write out a review for me. And then instead of just posting the review, I will tell the story and have the review posted at the end of it. I'll tell, what they're explaining in the story or where I viewed them at the beginning and where I view them now. And then the review supports that. But those breakthrough stories, I think, are really important to show the pathway that they're going through, because it's not always direct either. And it's not always what they would expect.
Yeah, I love that so much. I just really wanted to touch on that because I feel like this is something that personally I miss. Like there's so many people I could have had do a breakthrough story, and I just missed that boat, that opportunity. So I like that you touched on this.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Never too
True.
late. You can go back and get it from them.
I know, but I forget like what I ate yesterday. Like, how am I supposed to? But yes, you're right. You're right. Okay, let's move on to the next type of story, which is, this is a hard one for a lot of people. And I have some thoughts on this, but I want you to tell us like failures and setbacks for stories. Yeah.
These are the stories where things didn't go according to plan. These are the stories when your launch failed. These are the stories when you thought you were going to do something and it just didn't happen. And these are hard for people, I get it, but the failures and the setbacks are what make you human. The failures and the setbacks are what make your journey real. And if people are looking to buy from somebody, they don't want somebody that's perfect and everything went beautifully, because they know they've had failures and setbacks. They know things haven't worked for them. So if you're focusing on just all the perfection and the happiness and the roses and the unicorns and rainbows, nobody gives a shit about you, because guess what? That's not real life. They want to see the real life. So share the setbacks, share the things that didn't go well, share the moment where you fell down and show them how you got up and got to this point that you are at now. That's much more powerful than just everything is great. People want to see the journey, what you're doing, how you've gotten somewhere.
Okay, can I tell you, because I've been vulnerable. I mean, I don't know if I've ever opened up about like a launch failing. I'm not sure if I'm confident enough yet to share that story. I know you have. But here's what in my mind, I think it's what's stopping me is I'm thinking from their perspective, are they looking at me like she doesn't know what she's doing clearly because no one's buying anything from her? Or, there's something like that, something. I mean, obviously it's me making up this my own verbiage of what someone's thinking, which they're probably not even thinking. They're
probably not thinking that. They are probably, when you share this story, when you share about, things that just don't go well, and if you don't want to share about a launch failing, and a launch failing could be that you sold 5 or 6 or 7, which may be a success for them.
Right.
They may have had failed launches where they got nobody to buy. So your failed launch is a few steps ahead of their failed launch. And that means you're the exact coach they need. You're the exact person they need to help them out. So you never know what somebody's thinking and going in their mind, but you know that you know what you're doing. You know that these things happen, and there's a lot of reasons that they do.
Right.
And you know that you can help those people. So you shouldn't ever hold back on sharing those stories.
Oh my gosh, how many of you guys are going to start sharing your vulnerable stories like that? Like Jonathan, that was like I don't know, it was like an awakening that just happened there.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I want to see your moment. Now I'm putting you on blast now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Okay. She's going to air this episode in a year and a half when it's at the end of the next season.
Or I'll just be like, follow me on LinkedIn where all of the posts get lost, so you won't find it. Okay, last one we have before we go into commercial break is stories like life moments. This seems kind of fun. Like everybody could do this.
Yeah, everybody can do this. And any moments that you have, whether they're fun, whether they're like huge moments in your life, whether it's your dog throwing a piece of ice at your head or your nephew giving you a birthday card, all of those things, if you tie them back to your business, those are things that you can tell as stories, and they make you, again, human. They make people connect with you. They allow people to see that you're normal. Because when you show up online and you're just doing your shit, you're not normal. People don't view that as normal. They view it as like, oh, what? Weird people online just trying to sell stuff. And until you connect as that human, it's very, very difficult to actually sell stuff. So you could be there peddling all your goods for day in and day out, day in and day out. But until you actually connect as a human, nobody's going to be buying.
Yeah, you're right about that. And it is so funny. I feel like with storytelling, it really does like create memorable moments. Like, for example, if I'm looking at a birthday card that my daughter makes, I might think about Jonathan for a second because Jonathan had a really good story about his nephew giving him a birthday card. So anyways, yeah, I like that.
And that was almost a year ago.
Right. And I still think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how much it sticks.
Stories will always be there. They create that emotion, and emotion sticks. It is one of those stickiness things in your brain that it makes a huge difference.
I love it. Okay, we're going to jump into a commercial break, a real quick one, you guys, because we have to keep the lights on. You know how we do.
The lights are on today.
I know. I
Maybe
feel like
not
turning
tomorrow.
them off, though.
Maybe not tomorrow. We don't know.
We don't know. Well, do you want to go ahead and roll them?
All right, I'll hit the button.
Is social media starting to feel like crickets for you lately? No engagement, no likes. Hello, does anyone see this? Is anyone out there? What if I told you that social audio, aka audio marketing, could be the game changer that your business needs? Hi, it's Mimi Langley here, and I teach all about social audio. And right now I have a brand new training all about LinkedIn audio. Yes, LinkedIn has social audio. Learn how LinkedIn audio operates and the strategies you'll need to gain visibility, make sales, and grow your email list in under 60 minutes. Check the description for a link.
Are you tired of not having the time, not having the clarity, not having a clue what to post, or what trends are even important on social media? There is a solution out there, and that solution is the Signature Membership. The Signature Membership will help you by providing you a strategy, showing you how to remain consistent, always having ideas on what to post, and having clarity in your content. Overall, it's even going to help your visibility and your ability to make money on social media.
All right, you guys, we are back from commercial break. All of the links and resources will be listed down below for you. Okay, Jonathan, so we kind of wrapped up a portion of the stories that we could tell as a business owner. You have more. It's available in a free PDF. We'll put that also below for you guys. But I have a question. So how many of these stories do we realistically need?
So I will say, good question. I will say you absolutely need a founder story. People need to know your business, where you came from, your values, that sort of thing. You also absolutely need those breakthrough stories, because those are the stories that you're going to use in your marketing when you're selling a product, so you're going to need those breakthrough stories. And those are very, very powerful stories. Other than that, you're going to need stories to tell at times, for different things, because that's how we market. That a lot of what we're marketing now is storytelling marketing and connecting with stories and building out those stories and stuff for people to understand. So you'll need stories, but you don't need a million stories. You just need some.
Some in your back pocket, like
some in your back pocket. Yeah.
Because it has to make sense too, where you're talking, and like if you're part of like a summit, you're not going to want to pull out a story that just has nothing to do with the people that are listening.
Right.
Like you have to,
making sure that you're always talking to your audience in your stories. Even though it may be a story about you, you're speaking to your audience. Your audience should see themselves in your position.
Okay. So my question is, just to make it less overwhelming, because, that's what we love. Can I repeat these stories? Like, let's talk about the breakthrough story. Like if I have two really good breakthroughs, can I just kind of put them on autopilot? Okay.
You can repeat them. Absolutely. Now you're going to want to, if you get a third breakthrough story that comes out, you're going to want to put that one in the mix as well. But yeah, you should repeat your stories. Actually, I tell people that they need a story file, and that is a file with all their stories that they tell in their business in three forms. One is the elevator pitch, one is the 3-minute, and one is the keynote. So whenever I'm working with you, those are the three different lengths of story we're working on, and we're making sure that we're building up our story file so we have them.
How long is an elevator pitch story?
Elevator pitch is 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh, how are we supposed to tell a story in 20 seconds? I
Very
can't even.
Easily.
It takes me 20 seconds to sip my cup of coffee.
Yep, it's easy.
It is.
There's plenty of examples. There's plenty of examples of stories I tell on my Instagram.
Can I put you on the spot? We have 20 seconds left. You want to give us a 20
Nike,
second?
just do it.
Wait, what? That's a tagline.
It's a story. What do you think of when you think of just do it?
Like, Mimi, get up and do the thing because you've got this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's aspirational. Oh, I've got to do this. And you remember the other athletes that have done it because that's a whole story. Just do it as a story.
Okay. Can you give me another example?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yes, I
Sure.
am. You can edit this out.
Well, I'll use the same example because the story that I told of my nephew giving me the card. So, it was my birthday last year. My nephew walks up to me and he's smiling from ear to ear and he hands me this card and he could not believe how good it was. He was so thrilled with it. It was like the best thing that ever been created. And I loved seeing that smile on his face. And it reminded me that it's the smile that I want and often do see on my clients' faces when they actually get out there, share their story, and start building their signature style.
Now that is a professional, you guys. Wow. I was looking at the clock too. That was really fast.
And it's a story.
How long did it take you to craft that? Now we're getting behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, I mean, what I do generally is I write out the full story, and then I take out the extra, the things that aren't needed to deliver the point.
Okay. See, I changed it up on you a little bit there. But
Yeah, you did.
You're a professional. You know what you're doing. I'm not going to tell a story. I mean, I wrote down 3 examples of stories, but I don't know if I should tell anything because I feel like you owned that. Okay. But I do want to mention, for me, like another angle of story, you were saying like sometimes what I share, because I share a lot of stories when I'm hosting to try to paint the picture and connect the dots for people and why it's important to understand how to moderate and host and not just show up and talk. And you were saying it's like an experience story?
It's the experience. It shows that you've got experience in these situations and you understand what you're doing. It helps build up your like, know, and trust because you've been in it and people are going to go to you because you've developed that expertise. So as you tell those stories, those are important stories for everybody to tell as well. It's building that expertise. It's connecting with the audience based on what they have problems with. So if they see that you had a problem with that or you have a solution to that problem that they're having, then that's going to build up the trust tremendously.
Okay, that's beautiful because I have like 3 go-to that I always do on repeat. And,
Give an example. What's one of your go-tos?
Okay, so a lot of people, when it comes to hosting live audio-only spaces, a lot of people are so focused in on attendance and obviously, attendance is important, but people are like, oh my gosh, I failed if I don't get more than 20 people in my rooms or whatnot. But for me, it's quality over quantity anytime because I always give the example of I was hosting a regular room I always do, and I had 6 people come in that room and I could have looked at it like a loss. I could have ended the room early, because of the number of attendants, but I didn't. And I stayed the whole way. I gave it 110% like I always do. And I ended up getting 3 people to purchase my workbook/guide. That's like a 50% conversion. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, that's a great win. Here's how you tell that story faster.
Okay.
I opened up a room one day and I had 6 people show up. I was about to close that room, but I decided I'm going to power through. I'm going to give my presentation. I'm going to see how it goes. And you know what? I got a 50% sell through out of that room. 3 people actually purchased my workbook and it blew me away. So you never know who the people are in your room and how often you can get, a sale out of it or something.
Yeah. Okay, good. That was really fast. But like you told it like slowly, which was nice. It wasn't like sped up.
Yeah, you don't want to speed it up. Your speed isn't about speeding it up. It's about getting the still having the impact in your story, but less words.
Okay, very good. I'm going to hire you as my storytelling coach. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, Jonathan, I know this is so good. I really if you guys want more storytelling episodes, please let us know. Like you can Instagram DM us at Coffee Social Podcast. You can let us know in the comments section on YouTube. We really want to know what you guys want from us. And if you want more storytelling, we can give it to them. Right, Jonathan?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Do you want to go ahead and do your spiel since we're closing down?
Yeah, but I might be bald by the time this one airs.
I hope you are.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to do a special episode if I have to shave my head.
Please.
But since that time has passed, thank you for those of you who actually participated. And if you haven't, don't worry about it. We're happy you're here still anyway. So make sure that you go over to whatever platform you listen to your podcast on and give us a rating of 5 stars because Mimi loves her stars. Mimi cries when we don't get stars. So make sure you give Mimi 5 stars on the review. Also, make sure that you go and visit us on any of our other social media platforms, which is like all of them, and see what's happening there, because we'd love to have that. And I don't know what else I was supposed to say, so I'm going to pass it over to Mimi.
I think you did a good job.
Okay.
I'm never going to be nice to him again like that. So take that in. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, we're going to end the episode like we always do with the most important question of them all, except this time for season 2, we're changing it up, as most of you know. But if you didn't know, now you know. We're not going to do Team Mimi or Team Jonathan. We're going to do something
Because
that's...
Team Jonathan won.
No. No, it didn't. I was so sick of Jonathan coming to me crying because it was always Team Mimi.
Anyway, moving on.
So are you Team Short Video or are you Team...
Long video. I always get the wrong one. I'm short video. Like
Well, you are
Instagram
short.
Reels.
Yeah.
Not YouTube. You're YouTube. I always get the wrong one.
True. But how do you guys like to consume? Do you prefer short video or are you team longer video? So what are you, Jonathan? You're team short, right?
Yeah, team short video.
Oh, I'm all the way. Like if you have an hour-long YouTube video, I'll watch it.
I won't. You got me about 8 seconds.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening in. And cheers, Jonathan. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.